Educational psychology deals with the study of teaching and learning processes and how various conditions impact those processes. It involves the entire learning process from early childhood until the end of a learner's lifetime and pays special attention to social, emotional, and cognitive processes. Psychologists focus on how various people learn in diverse situations and investigate how that learning works. They determine the learning styles and look at how they affect the ability to process and understand new information. They will include approaches and strategies in the learning process that learners use, considering all levels of understanding. I feel that the understanding of educational psychology is important to teachers as they must know their learners and understand the learning process to be able to guide and develop learners, to manage the learner's behavior, and to manage the effect of various learning conditions. In this way, I feel that the educational psychology benefits the teacher in being able to manage learning situations and assist the teacher to understanding the learners and their learning levels. If I look back at certain topics in this module, I have to say that I enjoyed researching about educational psychology in South Africa, especially during the apartheid era, and I was fascinated at how apartheid affected an imbalanced education in South Africa. It was enlightening how the current situation in South Africa can be better understood by understanding the situation in the past. The topic also brought me in touch with the realities that schools face when assistance in educational psychology is needed and the laborious process involved to apply for such assistance. I struggle to understand the bioecological model and feel competent about it. It always felt that I was missing something essential in my understanding of the model. It is an interesting perspective on the psychological influences and helps me to look at the various areas that affect the model's subject and the gravity of the influence. I think maybe I should have dedicated more time to understanding it better. I liked the topic where I could explore the role of educational psychology with regards to the recent GEC proposal. Since I have a personal opinion on the matter, I could pour my motivation into the essay easily. I found the exercise interesting as I had to involve the much dreaded bioecological model of learners, but I felt that I've managed to get to grips with the situation. The topic once again opened my eyes to the practical approach of educational psychology in a real-time situation. I found value in the domains unit as I could choose an age group that was personal to my children's lives, especially my eldest daughter. Here I could find out more about my daughter's development and mentally compare and assess her development against the criteria of the developmental domain. It was interesting to understand the development of the tween learner, and I could slightly recollect on my own development at that age. Areas in this model which had the biggest impact on me was the research on educational psychology in South Africa, the role of educational psychology with regards to the GEC proposal, and the developmental domains. Learning about the educational psychology practices during the apartheid era really touched my heart and made me realize, firstly, the harm that apartheid caused on a social level, and secondly, the long road that we as a nation still have to experience to overhaul the system of education. It is heartbreaking when you witness firsthand the effects of our imbalanced educational system and painfully realize that the status quo today will determine the future of tomorrow. The issue with the GEC proposal is close to my heart, and even though I am not in favor of it, it made me realize how the situation has arisen through the dropping of standards in the lower levels of education. This is also personal as I see learners that are not educationally or socially competent, but their situation is perpetuated due to the lowering of the bar to progress to the next grade. Another sore point for me is the poor current access to assistance in educational psychology and the laborious tasks involved to complete institutional paperwork for what should be a simple application. As previously mentioned, I found the domains unit interesting as I had personal investments in learning about the developmental stages of twins, as my daughter is of the same age bracket. It also impacted me to reflect on my experiences as a twin and made me more aware of the changes that my daughter and others her age was experiencing. As a result, I feel that I am more knowledgeable as a mother and educator. I now feel confident that I am empowered to deal with the changes in behavior, attitude, and motivations.